All right, we are live. I was not expecting to go live today at all. This was not planned. This was not in the schedule for today. But they started doing these casting announcements for Avengers Doomsday. Just at like started at like 11 a.m. Eastern time, right? And they've been announcing, and I'll show you guys in case you haven't seen, but they're announcing what actors, what characters, or I guess, yeah, for the most part, what characters they're playing for who's going to be in Avengers Doomsday, right? So I wasn't gonna live stream it. I was doing some other stuff as well. There wasn't like crazy announcements in the beginning, but they started dropping some bombshells. So I was like, I'm gonna go on live because maybe there'll be a crazy announcement that hasn't happened yet that we can. And I like having those moments. You know, it's a reaction channel. I like having those moments saved as a reaction because my reaction to Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom was quite insane. So I just think it would be cool to have that saved. So I decided I might as well come on live stream, talk to you guys about it. And I mean, I could have been doing other work, but it is pretty interesting to just sit here and talk about it as they reveal them. I just hope there's some other big ones that they haven't revealed yet, because I'm sure there's going to be some more ones for sure, right? There has to be. But I will show off the characters that have been announced that some of you guys might not know about. So let's show that off right now. Just gonna tweet out the stream. And yeah, I do believe this is just for Doomsday. I don't know if this is also gonna be for Secret Wars or not, but I don't know. So let me pull up a list of all the characters that have been announced so far, just so people know, because they're probably not gonna announce another one for a little bit anyways. So here we go. Here's a full list. So this is the order that they revealed them in as well. You got Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Fully expected. Like at the beginning, I wasn't really surprised or anything. It was just kind of like, that's, yeah. Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman, obviously. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, obviously. Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier. I wasn't like 1,000% on that one, but I was pretty certain he would come back. Latina Wright as Shuri, I was expecting. Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, I was expecting. Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, I was not expecting, and I'm kind of annoyed that they even revealed that. As for a couple of other Thunderbolts characters, because I kind of like the tension that the movie could have of what characters are going to live or die. And if you reveal all these characters that are going to be, that have another movie coming out before Doomsday, it just kind of confirms they're going to live, right? So I kind of wish that wasn't the case, but regardless. Then of course, Neymar's coming back. I did not think that was going to happen, actually. That was one that I was kind of like, the first one that I was really surprised by, I would say, out of all of these. I mean, like I said, US Agent, I was kind of surprised, but not like a huge surprise, but Neymar was a big surprise. I really wasn't 100% on that. Then obviously The Thing, okay, Ian McKellen, Magneto. I don't think this is the exact order that they revealed them in, but whatever. That one was the biggest one. Ian McKellen, Magneto, literally, like, that is when I was like, I have to live stream this. That was when I decided it, because I was like, that is a bombshell. Because we'll talk about Patrick Stewart in a little bit, but that's one I was like more expecting because he was already in Multiverse of Madness. But Ian McKellen as Magneto is insane. And I mean, I don't think we're going to see Michael Fassbender as well, but that would be crazy as well. But Ian McKellen, so excited to see him come back. I'm sure this is going to be his last time playing the character, but he hasn't played the character since, what, 2014? It was the last time with Days of Future Past. So very excited to see that. Alan Cumming, who played Nightcrawler in the original X-Men. James Morrison, who played Cyclops in the original X-Men. So a lot of the original X-Men characters are returning, which is insane. There's a lot of people theorizing that this might be some sort of Avengers versus X-Men movie. And in terms of the X-Men, it'll be the original X-Men. It's entirely possible that this can be something that happens in the movie. Maybe Doom is like pulling the strings and somehow gets them to fight each other, almost like Captain America's Civil War, but then they all come together to fight Doom in the end. I don't really know how that's going to work, but would be kind of interesting. Shang-Chi's returning. I can never say her name. Yelena, right? Played by Florence Pugh. Very excited for her. But again, kind of don't want these Thunderbolts characters to be announced because I honestly thought at least one of them was going to die, but it seems like most of them are coming back except for one. Then we have Sentry as well from Thunderbolts. Falcon, Joaquin Torres, he was obviously, I was expecting him. He's probably going to play a smaller role, I would assume. A lot of these characters are going to play small roles, I'm assuming, because there's so many characters. No way they're going to pull off this big movie with every character having a big role to play. Human Torch, obviously. Red Guardian, again, didn't really want to know that, but whatever. Winston Duke's character in Black Panther. So they announced a couple of Black Panther characters. Now, Ghost, again, what are we doing? Why are we announcing all these characters from Thunderbolts? Loki is one that surprised me, because I don't, if you guys haven't seen Loki season 1 and 2, I mean, sure, it makes sense, but honestly, I was expecting Secret Wars for Loki. I wasn't expecting him to be in Doomsday, but I'm totally fine with that. Loki's great, so it'll be fun to see him. And obviously, it's going to be, I would assume, the version of Loki that is from, that's from the Loki series. Patrick Stewart, Professor X, that's a huge one as well. Very excited for that. Mystique from the original X-Men, that's awesome. Gambit, played by Channing Tatum. I'm hella excited for that. Kelsey Grammer, yes, Beast. I guess this list doesn't have everyone, but yeah, you're right. I just this list was from IGN. I think I didn't make this list here, but yes, you're right. Kelsey Grammer, who plays Beast, and then they also don't have a couple of the more recent ones that they've announced here. Also, did they announce Jean? No, they didn't announce Jean Grey, right? I don't think so. Yeah, so let's go over to this. So they also just announced Pedro Pascal as Reed. Obviously, again, that's like an obvious one. Why is this? There we go. There should be another one soon, though. They seem to do them every like 10 to 15 minutes. I will say, and I'm going to be responding to some comments in a little bit, I do think this is not great marketing, but because it's getting more exciting with the names, it is getting more hype, obviously. But I still do think they should have went about this differently, like maybe like a trailer that just showcases it, you know. And obviously they don't have clips from the movie yet because they haven't filmed it yet, but like they could show clips of the characters from their prior movies and kind of like hyping it up that way. I feel like that would have been better, because having people wait here for 15 minutes, it's kind of like, come on, like, well, 15 minutes at a time, obviously, but in total it's long. But, you know, oh well, it'll be fun to sit here anyways. Every 12 minutes. So let's see, when could we be expecting the next one? Should be expecting the next one any minute now. And you know what I really like about it, though? The one thing I really like about this marketing is that, I'm sure you guys have noticed, they start to play the like a theme from that character, like their like theme music right before. So you kind of have to play this guessing game of, oh my god, who's it going to be based on the music? And I've already gotten it wrong a couple times. I swear, when they announced, what was it? I forget who it was. There was a character they announced. It sounded just like Spider-Man's theme. And I really thought it was going to be Tom Holland, because they haven't announced Tom Holland yet. He's going to be in the movie, but they haven't announced it yet. There's actually a lot of ones that I feel like are obvious that they haven't announced. Like I'm thinking Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. She-Hulk is definitely going to be in it. Obviously, they didn't announce RDJ as Doom yet. That'll probably be saved for last. I believe Chris Evans is rumored to being in the movie, so I'm expecting him at some point. I don't know who he's going to play, though, but it's going to happen. He might be Human Torch, who knows? Like Human Torch again, obviously. Who else could we see? I'm trying to think of like main... You know, I am curious about some of the MCU TV series characters. Like, are we going to see Charlie Cox Daredevil in this? Honestly, I don't know, because I think the TV show has their own thing going on. Like the rumors of Daredevil's Born Again season 2 almost sounds like they're going for like a Defenders season 2 in a sense. I don't know if you guys have heard the rumors. I won't go in depth with them if you don't want to hear like spoilers and stuff, but there's been some rumors that there's gonna be a lot more teamwork type stuff going on. So I feel like they got their own little Avengers thing going on there. So I don't really know if they need to come into these movies. Although I wouldn't mind seeing them. But I think a character like Moon Knight I would like to see in an Avengers movie, because I don't know, he doesn't fit with the street level characters as well as he should. I mean, he should be more street level. I personally think he should be, but just the way Moon Knight season 1 went, I think he would work okay in an Avengers movie personally, but who knows? Who else? I guess Elizabeth Olsen. Oh, I hear a noise. I'll turn it up so you guys can hear it. That's Avengers music. That's just the straight up Avengers music. It's gonna be Mark Ruffalo. That's my guess. Mark Ruffalo. It's got to be Mark Ruffalo. Got to be Mark Ruffalo. No way it's going to be RDJ already. I feel like they're going to... I don't know if we're getting to the end or not yet. I have no idea how close we are to the end. That was Avengers music, right? Well, obviously, but... Why are they taking so long to get to the chair? Why are they taking so long to get to the... This is the longest it's taken. What? They're hyping this up for a while. I mean, it's Avengers music, right? At least it started as Avengers music. I don't know, man. I don't know why it's not. Is it supposed to be showing someone, or am I crazy? This one's really, they're taking a while to hype this one up. Watch, it's gonna be RDJ or Mark Ruffalo. No, it's gonna be RDJ. They're taking too long. Come on! Any day now. Oh my God, what are they doing? This is... Oh, what is that noise? What is that? What is going on? What? The door's opening! The door's opening. Does that mean they're done? Ow! This is getting loud. Oh, it's gonna be RDJ. He's gonna walk in. You know, I hope he walks in the Doom costume. That's all I want. Have him walk in the Doom costume. Who is that? Who is that? Oh, is it Hugh Jackman? No. Who is it? Oh, that's Robert Downey Jr., right? Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Oh, he should have came in the Doctor Doom outfit, man. He should have came in the Doctor Doom outfit. All right, well, there you go. There you go. Damn, I did not think it'd be ending that quick. I thought there was gonna be like 20 more. Oh well. We could just sit here and talk for a bit then, that's all right. We'll just sit here and talk. Ah, man, I want at least a couple more. Is that the end? Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Oh, yeah, they got that music. Oh, gives me the chills, though. It gives me the chills. Did Toby or Andrew get casted? No. But here's the thing. I'm gonna lower this for a bit. Here's the thing, right? When it comes to Toby and Andrew, I don't really think they should be announced ahead of time, assuming they're gonna be like smaller roles, or maybe they'll just be in Secret Wars, because you can't just blow the load in the first movie and have every single character in it, basically. You know what I mean? Because then there's less excitement for Secret Wars. So what I think they're going to do is they're going to have a big focus on X-Men, clearly. That's like the main focus here was the original X-Men characters. You had Beast, you had Professor X, you had Cyclops, Magneto, all of them. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, let me just do that. Let's just, what should we pull up on the screen? I want to see if I can find a list of all the characters that like actually has the whole full list. It is interesting that they didn't show Tom Holland or Mark Ruffalo, though. That does surprise me. Because I'm thinking like, I don't know, those two characters, I mean, I'm expecting them to be in the movie, right? Who knows? Okay, hold on. Actually, you know what? Nah, we know the characters. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back to that stream. Because I do just kind of want to talk about it for a bit. Okay, here we go. All right. So yeah, it started with Chris Hemsworth, and then I mean, just kind of went through. We'll just kind of like the Paul Rudd one was funny, but let's just look through some comments. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. I'm gonna pull out the chat so that more people could see it. Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't delete any chats. Pop out chat. Nope. Okay, we're good. Because that would have been a problem if it didn't show me. All right, and there we go. And let's zoom in a bit. Okay, that is perfect. All right. What's everyone saying? Weren't there rumors that Doctor Strange wouldn't be in this one? There was rumors of that, but here's the thing. I just doubt that's going to be the case. But what I was saying before is I do think that these characters they showed off here are going to be like primary, like main cast members, like full on all the way through the movie. They are main characters through and through, right? You know, some of them might be like smaller roles, but they're not going to be like big reveal moment characters, right? But they're probably going to have a lot of other characters saved for the movie that are going to be more so those cameo type characters that are kind of just thrown in there, because they would not reveal everything right now. So then when we all go see the movie, we don't have a single character to look forward to in terms of like not knowing they're going to be in the movie. They would not do that. That's just not going to happen, right? So what I'm expecting is, I don't know for sure. They're going to go back and forth between 3 universes in this movie, because you have the main universe of the MCU where all the characters are at. Then you're going to have the Fantastic Four universe. Now, I feel like the end of that movie is probably going to lead into those characters either going to the main universe, or I don't know exactly, or having some sort of connection to it. But I think they're going to go back and forth between them, I'm sure. And then the last universe is the X-Men universe. And based on the ending of the Marvels, if you guys have seen the Marvels, the post-credit scene had Monica Rambeau, which I'm surprised she wasn't announced to be in this movie. Where was Brie Larson, actually? I totally forgot about Captain Marvel. How was she not in this? I don't know. So it probably is an every character. There's no way it's not. I wouldn't even say these are all the main characters, because again, I feel like that's a no-brainer that she would come back. Whatever. She went to a universe that had Beast there, right? And so they announced Beast in this castle is here. So I think those are going to be the 3 universes, and somehow there's going to be some connection between them. And I don't know exactly how Doctor Doom's going to do it, but I think he's going to try to start a war or some sort of conflict between these universes, and that is going to result in there being an Avengers versus X-Men scenario. I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but I think it is going to happen, and that's going to be the premise of like the first 2 acts of the first movie. But then it's going to end with them having some sort of realization of what's going on, and they're going to learn more about Doctor Doom, and then eventually it's going to lead to them actually fighting him in the end. They'll fail, they'll lose, a lot of people will die, which will lead into Secret Wars, probably Battle World and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys have read the comics, but there's a lot of stuff with this place called Battle World, which is basically like this combination of a bunch of universes all in this one place that Doctor Doom kind of like has some sort of control over, and a bunch of the characters will end up there. And I think Secret Wars in its entirety is going to end up in Battle World. And some of those, should I pull it up? I don't know if it's like leaked confidential stuff I can't show on stream. I don't know, but I'm sure you guys have seen the concept art that was leaked. I don't think that concept art was for Avengers Doomsday. I think it was for Secret Wars. It had like Doctor Doom on a throne, Yelena, whatever. She was in there. Doctor Strange was there. Like there's a lot of different characters. You had She-Hulk and Hulk in one place that almost looked medieval. I think that was on Battle World. Like I really do. And I think that's all going to be Secret Wars. So I don't know. I don't think there's certain characters that I think are going to be saved for Secret Wars. Like as much as I want to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, I don't think they're going to be in Doomsday. I think they're going to be saved for Secret Wars. Same with maybe even Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Wolverine. I think they're going to be saved for Secret Wars. Tom Holland does surprise me too, but that could be because they want to get the Spider-Man 4 stuff first. Well, no, Spider-Man 4, does that come out first, or does this come out first? I actually don't remember. But I want Spider-Man 4 to come out first, but I'm pretty sure Doomsday comes out first, which is weird. No Jean, Bruce, Carol, Storm, or Rogue. There could just be some characters that just haven't been announced yet for sure. But it's also possible some of them just won't be in it, but then will be in Secret Wars, you know? Like it's possible Hulk won't be in this, but he'll be in Secret. Because that happened with Avengers. Remember, Infinity War didn't have Hawkeye or Ant-Man. Neither one of them were in it, right? But then they ended up in Endgame. So that could be a similar situation here. I'm okay with it. This is already a huge cast. I don't think you need literally every character in it. But I think Secret Wars, you kind of should have as many characters as possible, even beyond what they announced here. And I think they will. I just don't want to know about them ahead of time. You know, I want it to be something that's kept a secret. Now, of course, leaks will always happen, but I hope that they can try to keep those leaks a secret, because the Deadpool and Wolverine cameos, a lot of those were a surprise to me. Then again, the only issue with keeping leaks a secret is that it forces them to film on very enclosed sets that usually leads to the movies unfortunately not looking the best, because they're in these really enclosed sets and they can't really shoot on location. It's just, I don't know, it kind of messes things up a bit, but hopefully they can make it work and still make it feel like an actual movie with all these characters. And at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is that these characters are dealt with in a, like, you know, good way where they're given care, and they're not just thrown in there to make a reference. Because I love No Way Home. They did a great job with a lot of those characters, but there also was a couple of moments where I was like, all right, like, like I wasn't a fan of, like, when I know a lot of people loved it, but when Norman was like, I'm something of a scientist myself. Like, I don't want this movie, especially with all these characters, to have like a character returning and then the only thing they do is have a reference to an older movie that they were in. I would hate that personally. Now, I'm not saying that's what Spider-Man No Way Home was. I just personally would hate that if they did that, because there's so many characters that are going to be in this movie. So, like I said, treat them with care. Actually have them do things, have good moments, have good interactions with other characters, interactions that we've always wanted to see, good action scenes. Hopefully it's well shot. You know, Russo brothers, I know they've been getting a lot of heat recently for their recent movie. I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are saying it's terrible. But they also made 4 incredible Marvel movies before, so who knows? Who knows? Doesn't Spider-Man 4 take place on Battleworld? If it takes place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which seems to be the case because the movie comes out after Doomsday, it's entirely possible it could take place on Battleworld, yeah, which would just be weird, but it's possible, because Battleworld does have a lot of places from existing like locations, right? So there could be a New York City on Battleworld. It would just look really weird and different. So, you know, I don't know. It's possible. It'd be just a weird Spider-Man movie, I guess. But I don't know. I'm okay with it. If it's a good movie, it doesn't really matter to me, you know? What's the most shocking casting reveal for you today? For me, it's probably Ian McKellen. I would say once they dropped Ian McKellen, I would say that was the most surprising at that point, because it kind of like, it was like, oh, you know, holy shit, like that kind of confirms they're going to be bringing back a lot of other X-Men characters. So then when they started announcing some other ones, I was like, okay, yeah, like, you know, I was kind of expecting it at that point because of the Ian McKellen announcement. So I do agree that was probably the most surprising one. So many Fox X-Men, it's going to be more member berry obsession, only for Doom to kill most of them, if not all of them. I don't like it. I kind of do hope he Doom kills a lot of them. I'm not going to lie. Like, I really want this to be like a massacre of a movie, which sounds so like, but I want there to be deaths. I want there to be consequences. And yeah, even if it's characters that we've known and loved for years, it's like consequences are important. Now, I'm not saying everyone should die, but a decent amount of characters, sure. But yeah, I agree. I don't want it to be just a member berry movie where it's just, oh, remember this thing? Remember this character? I don't want it to be that either, but it doesn't have to be that. They could deal with it in a way that's not just nostalgia bait. You know, it's possible. It is about to be the most expensive movie. You are 100% correct on that. I would be shocked if this doesn't end up being the most expensive movie ever made. Right now, I think the most expensive movie is, I think it's either Star Wars The Force Awakens or one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I forget which one. But I think it's like 400 million or something. It's like 470 million maybe. So this movie is I think gonna break 500 million with ease. It might even be 600 million. It's not even gonna be funny how much more expensive it is gonna be than every other movie that's ever released. If they're gonna ruin Doomsday and Secret Wars, at least Toby won't show up. I hope Toby does show up, but honestly, I kind of hope they save that for Secret Wars. Because again, they can't blow their load in the first movie. They can't. You can't just throw in everything and then just be like, oh, we have nothing exciting for Secret Wars. You can't do that. You have to have some stuff that's saved for that movie. And I think that will be that. You know what I do kind of hope, though? I do hope they have some villains returning as well. Because it seems to be a lot of heroes, obviously. Doom is going to be the main villain. But I kind of hope we see some villains from like, whether it's Fox X-Men stuff, or I mean, obviously Magneto's technically a villain. He's more of an anti-hero. I understand, but he's usually classified as more of a villain. But like, I think there's a lot of villain type characters that I would love to see come back, and I hope they do that. I still want them to do the whole Thanos. The only issue with this is they already kind of did it in the What If series, so it would kind of lessen the impact of it. But I would love to see Thanos in this movie, and then Doctor Doom just kills him. Like that would be so good, but who knows? Who knows? I don't feel like the whole cast was revealed. Definitely not. There's so many characters that I would be shocked for them not to appear in this. Now, like I said, I think a lot of them are going to be kept for Secret Wars. But people like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, she's got to be in this movie. There's no way she's not going to be in this movie. So I guess we'll see, though. It's possible some of the main ones are left for the next one. What if they are following the Secret Wars story? You need Thanos to return somehow. If it's like closely following it, I don't know how closely they're going to follow it, to be honest. I haven't even finished reading it, to be honest. I actually started reading the Secret Wars, the 2015 version. I know there's like one from the 80s and there's one from 2015. There's one that was more recent. I've only read part of it, but it's really like there's some really interesting stuff to it. I know there's a Secret Wars 2, I think. I forget if it's a sequel to the 80s one or the 2015 one, but it's like apparently really bizarre. But I don't I'm just like, you know what? I really want to see them nail Battleworld, so I'm going to show you guys a Battleworld map because there's different versions of it, but let's find an example of it. Yeah, so like it's not really a good map, but it kind of gives you an idea of it. Hold on, let me it's not good. Where? There we go. Okay. So it's kind of like a bunch of like iconic locations from Marvel, or it doesn't have to be all iconic locations, but a lot of them are. A lot of different universes are there as well. Like Manhattan is literally a location like that. That's part of it, but it's like they're all kind of like smushed together, and I think it's just really a cool concept that they could do a lot with. And I think for the MCU, you have to think of the locations that are really important to the MCU. I think they would utilize those locations. So I'm sure, I don't know if Asgard is in here. I actually don't see it, but I feel like MCU Asgard was like a big thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of it. Like they could just literally have it be this just whole ass, like almost like medieval style, but like some places aren't medieval style, some places are, and it's like so like separated between these like communities that are almost like apocalyptic. Like there's so much you could do with that, and I don't know, I'm just kind of like very, very curious to see how they execute that, but who knows. I'm not really sure what if they're gonna, you know, do Battle World in the way that I'm expecting them to do it. Who knows. Let's make this smaller. Okay. Literally the only thing I was annoyed with in the announcements was the fact that they revealed all those Thunderbolts characters. I just, they could have just said Bucky and then just left it at that. Why did they need to say everyone else? Or maybe Florence Pugh, because like here's the thing, part of this thing was meant to hype people up, right? Florence Pugh and Sebastian Stan, that'll hype people up. Do we need to know like Ghost was returning? You know, like that doesn't really like hype me up. That kind of just tells me that she's not going to die in the next movie, in Thunderbolts. What is Wanda going to do to Doctor Doom? Tickle him? Maybe. Wanda's one of the most powerful characters. Actually, yeah, that's true. Is she going to come back? I didn't even think about her. I'm pretty sure she recently said that she's not coming back, but then again, that's been said by a lot of actors in a lot of different cases, and then they end up coming back. So I don't know. Any guess who will play MCU Miles Morales? No clue. And the reason I feel like that's not an easy thing to guess, because I'm assuming if they're going to do it accurately, they're going to, cast someone who's really young, right? Like, probably like a 15, 16-year-old maybe. And I don't know a lot of really young actors aside from the ones that are in like Stranger Things and stuff. They're older now anyways, so you can't really like knowing a lot about younger actors is just not common, because they usually don't become well known until they get a bit older. The only time they're really well known when they're really young is if they just started in like a really big project. But again, it's like a lot of the times it's like years go by, and it's MCU Miles Morales, they're probably not gonna cast at least for a couple of years. I don't think he's gonna show up anytime soon. So I feel like it's probably going to be someone we don't even know of yet. He's probably going to be an up and coming actor who's never even been hasn't even been in like any big projects at this point, which I prefer. I don't want to have someone that is like really well known just because, oh, let's just cast this person because they're well known and they kind of fit the role. Like, no, I want it to be a very inspired casting of someone who really wants it. Like Miss Marvel's a great example. I think she was one of the best castings out there, because I'm pretty sure she wasn't a well-known person before, right? She was very like, hasn't done a lot of projects, and then she got the role, and then now she's really big, and she fits the role perfectly. Like, she's great. So kind of think you should do something like that when you're casting, especially younger characters. So we'll see though. I don't think they should do MCU Miles Morales anytime soon though, to be honest, because I feel like Miles Morales, if you're going to have him with Spider-Man, there should be a bigger age gap. And I know Tom Holland's getting older at this point, so it could work soon. But I feel like Peter Parker should be at least like, I want to say like late 20s maybe. Peter's only in college, so I know Tom Holland's late 20s, but Peter's meant to be only in college at this point. So you got to give it some time. You got to give it some time. I think wait till also the Spider-Verse movies. You already have Miles there. Wait till those are done as well. So I'm thinking like by the time we get to like Spider-Man 6, maybe is a good time for it. But right now, I think just you don't have to do that. And honestly, I mean, personally, I would love to see Miles come into like being with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man instead of with Tom Holland. But they're probably not going to do that, because I don't know, Sony's just weird with their Spider-Man movies and stuff. Like, I feel like that would be such a no-brainer, but I'm sure they have some reason why they can't do it. They probably can't have multiple Spider-Man movies running at once, but I mean, I think that would be the perfect scenario. Like, you have your Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but why not give us another Tobey movie where it's just him in his universe, or an Amazing Spider-Man 3 where it's just him in his universe? Like, that would be great. And then Miles could work perfectly in one of those movies, probably with Andrew. That'd be great. But I don't know. Can't believe people still want Edward Norton back in MCU. I mean, yeah, Mark Ruffalo is that character now at this point. So yeah, I don't think it would make sense to go back and be like, oh yeah, let's just recast him again to the person he was originally casted as. Lizzie wants to come back. She keeps saying it. I guess she just won't be in these two movies. That's so weird. Yeah, like she's like one of the most important characters in the MCU, I would say, at this point. And they even have that Vision show coming out soon. So I'd be really shocked if Wanda doesn't show up. I think maybe the only reason they haven't announced her is because I think she might be a surprise character, because she kind of like died at the end of Multiverse of Madness, right? So maybe from their perspective, they're like, most people probably think that character is meant to be dead. At least like more casual viewers who aren't kept up with all like the, because we've heard rumors that she's not actually dead, but that's kind of how the movie presented itself. So maybe it'll be saved as a surprise thing. So I guess that kind of makes sense why they wouldn't announce it then. Who knows? Yeah, I'm happy they're bringing back the OG X-Men though. I think that's great because it allows them to put a final bow on all those characters and all those storylines. I love the stuff they're doing with the multiverse. I really do. I think it's fun. After Secret Wars, though, we got to be done with it, though. We got to be done with it after Secret Wars. Or, like, I could see a world where it's not done after Secret Wars, but they've, like, established a system where they're able to travel between multiverses just on a whim. So then it becomes less about like, oh my god, all this multiverse stuff, and more about like these are just different places you can just go to, and maybe only like some multiverses are like in that connection. So maybe, for example, you can travel to the X-Men universe and back, but they kind of have this system where they're like, okay, we only do it if it's a necessary thing. Like if we have to, if there's some sort of world ending stake and we need your help, then you guys come back. But it's kind of left as like, you know, we don't have to do that. I think that would be kind of interesting, but who knows? And then another outcome could be that it literally closes up the multiverse and there's no connection ever again. I just don't see that happening, but I feel like, I don't know. There's so much Marvel stuff that they need to do that I think they would need to put a bow on the whole multiverse. At least put a bow on the nostalgia side of the multiverse, right? If you're going to continue it, maybe just don't have it be all nostalgia stuff, and then more so go in the direction of what like Invincible's doing, where it's like, yeah, there's different universes, but they're not like just universes from past movies. Rather, they're other universes that just have things work differently there. Kind of like what they're doing with Fantastic Four. It's just another universe, but it's a new Fantastic Four. I do kind of hope we get a sequence where we see characters going between different universes within like a short amount of time. Kind of like that episode of Family Guy when Stewie and Brian were going through different like universes. I kind of want to see something like that. Doctor Strange kind of did it, but like they didn't spend enough time in each one. But I want to see like, I think this would be kind of like, I don't know, it would be interesting just seeing all these characters in these different worlds and then like kind of dealing with what that world is like. I think it could be fun, you know? Maybe Dooms of the X-Men universe. That's possible. That is true, because I mean, I'm assuming he's going to be in the Fantastic Four one, but I just don't know if they're going to do the whole no, they have to. They can't not do the whole connection between Reed and Doom. I just feel like that would be such a missed opportunity. Is it weird that it's going to be RDJ? Yeah, but they've already established the fact that other characters and other multiverses can look the same, which I will say, I think they did a great job with doing this in Deadpool and Wolverine with having Chris Evans as Human Torch, because Chris Evans as Human Torch confirmed to audiences that yes, you can have different characters that look the same, right? Like that's a thing that works between multiverses. Deadpool saw that, Wolverine saw that, right? Well, actually, no, Deadpool was the only one who noticed because Wolverine didn't even know who the hell he was before anyways. Regardless, you know what I'm talking about. But that was really important for this. And I'm assuming they honestly just did that because of this. Because then when people see this, they're going to be like, oh, well, we already saw that happen with Human Torch. It looked just like Captain America. So people aren't going to be as thrown off with the fact that Victor Von Doom's going to look just like Iron Man. Like it could work. I still think it's dumb though. I do still think they should have just gotten us a unique Doom. If they wanted to bring back RDJ so badly, I would have been fine with him coming back as an evil Iron Man variant. I think that would have been totally fine with me. I would have been so down with that. I would have been like, all right, shit, let's see it. Let's see this evil Iron Man. Like that would have been cool. But I don't know. I think we'll see how it works. There's a world where this ends up being a fantastic movie and it's fine. My biggest worry is that because of RDJ playing Doom, they're going to have him out of the mask for too much, you know? And I don't think Dr. Doom should have his mask off that much, you know? But we'll see. And I am surprised if Tom Holland isn't going to be in this movie. I think he will, but let's say he isn't. That does surprise me because I feel like the relationship between him and Iron Man is like gonna play a big role with him and Doctor Doom in this. I don't think it really should, to be honest, but it probably will. So it kind of has to. If he is able to see his face at some point, he's going to be like, holy shit. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, Rhodey wasn't even shown off. Don Cheadle. Well, honestly, I don't know. They've been talking about the Armor Wars like TV show that's just not happened. It's been canceled by now, right? It has to have been. Is this movie related to those concept art pieces leak about it being set in a medieval time? Yes, but that is just concept art. Keep that in mind. There's been concept art for other movies that ends up looking nothing like the movie, so it's very possible. It's just concept art, right? It's like ideas that they're throwing out there, but it does give you a general idea of what it might look like. I'll show you guys some examples of what I'm talking about for concept art. I'm not going to show the ones for the Avengers movies though, so let me look it up. Yeah, so No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home had some concept art. And the movie doesn't really look anything like this. Well, some of the concept art does, but some of it's like, yeah, that doesn't, this didn't happen. Okay, so where is it? Some of it's so cool though. Some of it I can't tell if it's real or fake. Like AI is so annoying, man, because like you literally can't tell. Like you look up stuff on Google, I have no idea if this is AI or not. Like I'm sorry, I don't know. Where is it? There was one very specific one I'm looking for that I wanted to show. It had America. Yeah, here we go. Like, was there a scene like this in No Way Home? No, but this is concept art from the movie. It looks sick, actually. Like, this actually looks really cool. I kind of wish there was a scene like this in the movie. But yeah, America Chavez was meant to be in the movie, I guess, and she just wasn't. I'm pretty sure this is real. I'm not like. That's usually what concept art looks like. I mean, it's kind of similar in design to what the Avengers Secret Wars concept art looked like. I think it was Secret Wars concept art. I'm like not 100% on that, but I'm like pretty sure it was. But I guess we'll find out when we get closer to the movie. Which my guess is we'll see a trailer by when do you guys think we're gonna get a trailer? I'm thinking at Comic-Con they'll probably give us a teaser. Like a quick teaser. Not like a trailer, but more like a very, very like teaser. I'm talking like almost shows nothing. And then I think towards like November we'll actually get the first trailer. Super Bowl next year. So I think Super Bowl next year will be the first like big trailer, right? But I think by November, December we'll have like the first like footage. You know what I mean? Like I think Comic-Con will get like when I say teaser, I mean like literally maybe just like an image or something, or like a hype up teaser that doesn't actually show any new footage. It's just kind of like hyping it up. I think we'll see something like that. But then November, December, we'll have the first actual trailer footage because they'll have filmed a lot of the movie by then. And then Super Bowl, I think, will be the first full-on trailer. And then the movie comes out in May, right? May of next year. It might get delayed though. Who knows? I think there was rumors it might get delayed, but I kind of hope it doesn't. Unless they need it to be delayed. If they need to be delayed, go for it. You know, take your time. We'll see. IGN saying it might be more of an Avengers versus X-Men movie. That's entirely possible. Wait, oh yeah, I'm thinking of the Eternals now. I wasn't expecting the Eternals to show up, but now that I'm thinking about it, are they just going to forget that movie ever existed? I mean, obviously the Celestial stuff, they already kind of talk about that in part of it in Captain America 4, but like those characters though, are they ever going to return? I just didn't even think about that till now, but now I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, are those people ever going to come? I don't know. It wouldn't make sense for them to be an Avengers movie because I guess the whole point of that movie is that they were kind of meant to be like hidden away. I don't know. We'll see, but who knows? Like, I don't think they forgot about Eternals. I think it's just not something that's necessary to the storyline, I guess. Wasn't Monica stuck in the X-Men universe at the end of the Marvels? Yes. I think it was the main X-Men universe. It was a X-Men universe at least. We don't know which one really, but it's one of them. What are your thoughts on Sadie Sink joining the cast of Spider-Man 4? I have no idea. who she's going to be playing, but I think it's good because she's a good actress, so it'll be fun to see her in it. I just don't know who she's playing. I have no good guesses because if it's a multiverse movie, it's entirely possible she'll be Mayday Parker, very possible, or Mary Jane, but that one's a bit iffy because yeah, you already have the other MJ in the Tom's main universe, but I think a lot of people are forgetting it is a multiverse movie, so who knows? It could really be anything. There's a variety of characters she could be playing. I don't think she's Jean Grey. A lot of people are saying that. I don't think she's Jean Grey, but I'm going to go with Mayday Parker. I think she's going to be the daughter of Tobey Maguire and Mary Jane from that universe. I think she might be Mayday. That's a crazy guess, but who knows? Because if that is going to be in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which it seems like it is, yeah, I don't see how that movie's not going to be very multiverse centric, you know? Because I really do want Doomsday to end similar to Infinity War, where it's like things are just bad in between that time period. Like it's just like depressing. Like a lot of people die. There isn't a lot of hope. I do think they need some kind of like ending like that as well. But don't repeat the same ending, obviously, but like a very depressing ending where it feels like shit's just bad. And then go from there. And if you're gonna, when I say shit's bad, I mean like the whole multiverse, everything. It's not just people getting dusted away. It's literally like multiverses collapsing, all that stuff. Like that is how it should end. But if you're going to have a Spider-Man movie between then, I don't think it really can be street level if there's going to be all that crazy shit going on in between then, you know? But we'll see. Eternals was a really good looking movie, honestly. I just thought it was kind of boring. It's one of those movies that I wish I cared more about the plot. You know, I just didn't. It was hard to get into. Like, I didn't find the characters to be that interesting. I felt like they were dealing with so many different people in such a little amount of time. It was a long movie, but that being said, they still didn't give the characters enough time, which is crazy. But I don't know. It's a good looking movie though. Visually, it was one of the better looking MCU movies for sure. Watch her play Gwen and the red hair is just a bait. Yeah, I mean, Emma Stone, I'm pretty sure has red hair, so she could just wear a wig. But at the same time, I don't think she really looks anything like Gwen. You know, that's the only like thing that would be like, you know, you could with enough like, I don't know. I feel like she does just like, and it's not just, trust me, it's not just the red hair. I think entirely she just looks and embodies MJ more than Gwen. She just does. Then again, you could probably do enough with like a, you know, if she gets the outfit that Gwen usually wears, the hairstyle, you can make her look like Gwen. It's possible. It just wouldn't be my first thought, but yeah, you're right. It could be Gwen. Black Cat's possible too, but again, I don't think she really embodies that character as much as I'm sure a lot of other people could. So, but who knows? We'll see. I feel like Black Cat should be a bit older, not like really old, but like I would say like, because how old is Sadie Sink? Like 20 something? I feel like Black Cat should be like late 20s, you know, closer in age to Tom Holland, even if Black Cat, or even if Peter Parker's meant to be like 20 right now, but obviously Tom Holland's a lot older, so I think Black Cat should be a bit older though. She's definitely playing Mayday or Firestar. Firestar, I saw that one a lot was brought up. That's possible. I do kind of hope it's not. The only thing with Firestar is like, I don't know. I don't want her to be a big role in the movie if she is Firestar. You know, nothing against Firestar. It's just like, I don't know. It depends how we see it. Because I really do want Spider-Man to be mostly on his own in the movie. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You can throw in other heroes and make it work. I don't know, but we'll see. And there's supposed to be a female villain as well, but I don't think she's going to play the villain because I think they're casting for a female villain, and they said 30 to 50 years old, right? So that wouldn't be Sadie Sink. Now, who's that female villain going to be? I have no idea. Could be what's that one girl's name? Silver Sable. Could be her. I would like to see her. Black Cat should be older than Pete. Exactly. No, exactly. Like that's why I just don't think Sadie Sink would be a good Black Cat. She's just too young for the role. Like honestly, I'm still standing by it. I think Anya Taylor-Joy would be a decent Black Cat. I stand by that. I know a lot of people said Sydney Sweeney, but I don't, it doesn't matter. I know why people are saying that, but I think you have to like. I'm thinking because Anya Taylor-Joy, I think more of the voice. I think she would embody the character really good. I know she's already in that one. What is that one movie? What's that called? The New Mutants or whatever. She's already in that, but who cares? That does not matter. Imagine Spider-Man 4 also adds Iceman and they call it Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I mean, shit, they could. I just kind of hope he's more on his own, you know? Do you think we'll ever get a Marvel versus DC movie sometime in the future? Like once the DC reboot is over, once Marvel reboots after the multiverse and the mutant stuff? I think the day that we get a Marvel versus DC movie is the day where both universes are completely creatively bankrupt and they have nothing else to do. And that's their last. That's like that. They're just like the last resort. They're like, just we have to. This is the last thing we can do to get people to watch our movies. So I don't think it'll happen because as much as it could be a cool idea and could work, it just sounds like creatively like just not good. Like I don't know. Like it would just be like I don't want to see that, but would I be against it? I don't know. If like 30 years maybe it'll work, but I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the idea personally. Bring back Anya as Magic. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. So if she comes back as Magic, cool. Is it true Spider-Man 4 will take place on Battleworld? Possibility, but we don't know for sure. Crossover is unlikely. Even their comic studios can't get one going. That's what I'm saying. I just think it's a weird crossover because like other than like throwing action figures together, what does it really do for like you know what I mean? Like story wise, like, I mean, even doing what they're doing here, which might be the Avengers versus X-Men, that sounds a bit out there, but at the end of the day, it's something that's like, you know, there's comic source material involved in it. And there's also just the fact that, I mean, some of these characters interacting would make sense and would be actually quite like, I think there is a lot of interesting writing you could do with these different groups, but like you throw in like the Justice League and stuff, it's just like too much. You know, I feel like Marvel already has such a large roster of characters. I don't think it needs to add in the DC characters and vice versa. Like DC already has such a large roster. So I think just doing that would just, it would just, like I said, it would just kind of feel creatively bankrupt. I think it's good that these are separate things entirely and that they don't have big crossovers. Now, I would love a Marvel versus DC video game. I think that would be cool, like a Marvel Rivals, but with DC characters alongside them. I think that could be fun, but I just don't think as a story, I don't think I'd want to see that personally. So Marveland. So we'll see. I'm going to read some comments up above, I think, because there's a lot that I wasn't reading at first. Mutant Saga is the next after the Multiverse Saga. Yep. So yeah, there'll be a lot of X-Men after that, but they're going to be rebooted though. They're not going to be the same ones we're going to see in this movie for sure. They wouldn't keep these same X-Men forever, you know? Let me go all the way to the top. Yeah, a lot of people were thinking Chris Evans was going to show up. I thought he was too, to be honest. Like, the thing is we don't know who he's playing, but I'm pretty sure I don't know if he was confirmed to being in the movie or if it was just heavily rumored, because there was definitely some article where it said something about that before. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll pull up the full cast list, because why not? So if anyone missed the full list, here it is. Boom. I'm not sure if the order mattered, like the order of what they showed, and I guess it didn't really matter. They were just trying to like, they were doing the X-Men kind of like in close order, but this isn't the order here. But I don't know what this order is in. Oh, I think it's the order of the shortest to the longest. A discussing film always does that, where they make it like, you know what I mean? They make it kind of look pretty. But yeah, all this excites me. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So you guys can see the list while we just chill here. Oh yeah, no Star-Lord. Oh, that's true. Oh man, I hope he shows up. That's true. They said he was gonna return. They did. So he kind of like has to if they said that. Will it be a surprise for the movie? Maybe. Or it could also keep this in mind. It could also be a surprise for the trailer too, because the trailer, I mean, a lot of the recent like movies, think like Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, a lot of the big reveals were kept for those trailers, or at least some of them, right? So it's possible that some of these won't even be announced or shown off till the trailer itself. Star-Lord could be one of those. I don't think they'll show the whole Guardians of the Galaxy though. Like I think there's gonna be. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of those characters again, to be honest, which is kind of sad. You know, they had their time. They had 5 movies, technically 6 if you count Thor: Love and Thunder, which I really don't count, but if you want to count it, but that's like 6 movies. They've definitely ran their course, but I would still like to see them again because they're fantastic. They're probably some of the best characters out there. So. Kind of weird they showed Thor first. Maybe Thor will be the new leader. I don't think it's gonna be like the leader. I think it's gonna be Captain America's leader. It's gonna be Anthony Mackie as a leader, and then I mean Thor will probably be like a co-lead. You know, he's like the god lead. You know, because he's obviously the most powerful, I would say, out of most of these characters, but he's also not the biggest leader out of all of them. He's not really a leader. That's why I just don't think he'll be like a leader. But that is true. They did show him first, so there could be. I think the order was kind of random at first. It was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like we'll see what happens, sort of a thing. What I am interested in seeing is the interactions between Fantastic Four and the Avengers. But here's the thing: I think we desperately needed a Avengers movie before this that was just with the Avengers. No Fantastic Four, no X-Men, none of that. Because that is the one thing I'm also really worried about is how are they going to make that work? Because you have these characters that we haven't, like, they haven't come together yet. You know, we literally saw in Captain America 4 the fact that the Avengers just aren't really a thing anymore. Like they're all over the place. So if they're all over the place, they're not gonna just suddenly. Are they gonna suddenly come together in this movie out of nowhere? Like out of nowhere, Falcon's gonna be like, okay, or not Falcon. Captain America is gonna be like, well, let's get everyone together. Let's get this team rolling. But are they gonna do that in the first like 30 minutes of the movie? Won't that feel kind of rushed? Because I feel like you need scenes with like all these characters where he's like talking to them, or where he's like, oh, you know, what's like, let's get the team back, you know, back up and running. And you're probably going to want to let those breathe for a bit. You're going to want to let those fleshed out for a bit. But if you just speed through it, I think it's going to lose the impact. So I do think they should have done not necessarily an Avengers movie, but they should have done some sort of movie that has a lot of the Avengers come together in it before this. So I don't know what it could have been. Maybe Doctor Strange 3. I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, they already used the Captain America movie as basically an Avengers movie with Civil War, right? Because that's basically what I'm saying. I think we needed a Civil War type movie to come out before this, but who knows? It could work out just fine. Maybe the Avengers won't even be like brought back together in this movie at all, and it's just kind of going to be everywhere. And then they'll kind of regroup by the end of the movie and then come together for Secret Wars. I have no idea. Did you go over discussing films, tweets of all the characters that aren't going to be in the movie? Did they tweet that? Let me go check it out. Like they're confirming they're not going to be in the movie, or what do you mean? Let me see. Oh, well, yeah, so we'll check this out as well. So these aren't characters. Keep this in mind. Make sure we're reading this properly. This isn't characters that aren't going to be in the movie. These are characters that aren't included in the cast. I would say currently, right? There's no way these aren't going to be in the movie, but who knows? Maybe they aren't in the movie at all, but I don't believe that at all. I think they're going to appear. But we'll run through it. So Chris Evans, he was already rumored. I think he's going to appear. I think he's going to be a surprise. He's not just going to, be in there out of nowhere. Haley Atwell as Captain Carter. She'll be a surprise. I'm sure she'll show up. She's going to be a surprise for sure. Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. I think it's honestly possible he doesn't show up, but if he doesn't, he's 100,000% going to be in Secret Wars without a doubt. I think it's possible they won't have him in the next movie though. It's possible. Okoye, I feel like she could show up. They probably just didn't want to include like literally every single Black Panther character there, so I think she'll probably show up. Star-Lord could be a surprise. Daredevil, I don't think is going to show up. I think they're going to keep those street level characters to the Daredevil Born Again series, and then they'll do some stuff with that. And I don't think they're going to bring Daredevil to Secret Wars. If at most, maybe they'll have like one scene where maybe there's like a worldwide like war going on between all sorts of characters. Maybe they'll have one scene with Daredevil trying to like defend someone from someone. Maybe they'll have him like, you know what I mean? Just as like, oh, here he's in the movie, but I don't think he's going to be any more than that. Wong, if they have Doctor Strange, they'll have Wong, but Doctor Strange also isn't confirmed, unfortunately, which there's no way Doctor Strange's not going to be in this movie. I would be so shocked if he isn't. Miss Marvel, again, she should be in the movie. I don't know why she wouldn't be, but we'll see. At the very least, she's going to definitely be in Secret Wars. I would like to see a Young Avengers thing, but if they were going to do that, they should probably do that like by now. Hawkeye, I would like to see. Spider-Man as well. Moon Knight, yes. Valkyrie, sure. Don't really care too much about her. The Wasp, yeah, sure. I'll see the Wasp. White Vision, I think they're doing a show on him, but I don't really care. I just don't know why I don't care about White Vision. I just don't. I care about Vision, but this whole White Vision thing is just not as interesting to me. She-Hulk, I'm sure she'll be in Secret Wars if she's not going to be in Doomsday. War Machine, 50-50 on it, to be honest. Captain Marvel, I don't get how she's not going to be in Doomsday. I'm sure she will. Again, might be saved. Taskmaster is probably going to die in Thunderbolts. Ironheart, actually, yeah, I think she might be. They're doing a show with her soon. She was in Black Panther, so Black Panther 2. So yeah, she'll probably appear. Nick Fury, oh shit, yeah, they didn't even announce Samuel Jackson. It's not an Avengers movie without him. I know Infinity War technically only had him at the very end. Even Endgame only had him at the very end. So maybe it is a Avengers movie without Nick Fury, but I would like to see him come back though. Kate Bishop, I mean, she is more street level, but I wouldn't mind seeing her. If you're going to see Hawkeye, then yeah, you obviously would see her as well. Scarlet Witch, I want to see her come back. Madam Web, why are they throwing Madam Web? What are we going on? What's happening? What's happening? Love how they included Madam Web. America Chavez, literally America Chavez is a character that can go to different multiverses. Obviously, she should be in the movie. Monica Rambeau should be in it as well. I think she will be. And then Doctor Strange should be. So, yeah, kind of strange that some of those characters haven't been revealed yet, but I think they will soon, Oh, wow, look at this. They released like, this is honestly, this is what they should have done to begin with. They should have just did this. The hype over the couple of hours, I think was kind of interesting, but this probably would have been a little bit better. This music here, is this from... Oh, wait, that's from X-Men. I want to know who the composer for this movie is going to be. Is it going to be Alan Silverstreet? How the hell do you say his name? Yeah, and he's just going to be there to shush us. Oh, wait, what the hell? Did he do that in the... I don't remember. And they got the Avengers music in the background. Awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. I also want to check another tweet that I saw from discussing film. I think it was something about the leads, or what was it? Let me see. Oh, it was every X-Men star. Yeah. So, I mean, we already know these, but it's just nice to see. I'm surprised Jean Grey didn't come back, but she could be in there. Again, I don't think they announced everyone. I just don't. I think War Machine will be in a new Iron Man armor, like the old Secret Wars comics. That would be awesome. I think he should be in the movie. Spider-Man is not the most important Marvel character, and he doesn't get treated like that. Now he doesn't even appear in a big Avengers movie. He might be in it. He might be in it. I don't think they announced everyone. Alvin Silvestri. Oh, that seems so obvious, but in my mind, I just couldn't think of it. But thank you, I appreciate that. But he'll probably be the composer because he did Infinity War and Endgame. But I wouldn't be against someone else if it was like Michael Giacchino or like Danny Elfman or something. But I think it'll probably end up being Alvin Silvestri, and I am totally on board with that because I think Infinity War and Endgame had fantastic soundtracks. I have a feeling that they have plans for Phoenix storyline down the road, so they're saving Jean for that. That could be true. Because, I mean, they're going to reboot all these characters anyways, but I think maybe if they wanted Jean's impact to be really huge in the future for that mutant saga, they might save it. That is true. Any new Patreon videos tonight? Perhaps. No promises, but I do think I'm going to be able to get one done, so probably. If it is going to be something, it'll be Scream Queens. I was deciding either between live streaming this or watching that, actually, so that's why I was like in between. But we'll probably be done with the live stream soon, so I probably can jump into that soon. How would they announce the second wave of actors? I don't think they would announce them. I think it would just be either the trailer would reveal them, like they would have them show up in the trailer, or they would just be saved for the movie itself, if they don't get leaked beforehand, obviously. Unpopular opinion, Danny Elfman is overrated. All his themes sound way too similar. He just disrespected the Go. Nah, I mean, to each their own, but I think he's got great music. I mean, I get what you mean, but I also feel like that is, I don't want to say it's the same for all composers, but I do think a lot of composers do have music that, like, sometimes, not all their themes, but sometimes they'll have similar motifs in there. Like, a good example is there's a piece of music from Gladiator that sounds almost identical to a piece of music in Pirates of the Caribbean, right? And those are obviously both from Hans Zimmer. So I wouldn't critique him for that necessarily, but it would just be kind of like that's just his style. He just happened to have similar instruments or rhythms that he wanted to go with that fit the movie, and that just happened to cross over. I think that's entirely possible. There's also one from John Williams. I actually think it was the exact same piece of music from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that was also in Star Wars Attack of the Clones. It was like literally the same music. It was crazy. I think it was an accident, to be honest, because it was literally the same thing. It was like a quick, like 10-second piece of music. It wasn't like long, but it was literally the same. Not that important, but I just wanted to point that out. But why hide Spider-Man from a movie? He's just too important. I don't know. I think because maybe they're already in progress with Spider-Man 4 and they want some stuff to be revealed about that first, maybe, or I don't really know, to be honest. I can't really, like, maybe they didn't want people to sit here all day and wait for all these reveals, so they were just like, well, let Spider-Man get announced later or whatever. You think the plot can be X-Men versus the Avengers battling each other to save their protected universes with Doom pulling the strings? I think that's entirely possible. Very, very possible. And I actually think that would be a really cool movie. The only thing is we have to have a lot more X-Men come back then, because this is not enough X-Men for an Avengers versus X-Men movie. There's way more Avengers than this. So they would need to bring back a lot more X-Men characters for that to work. And I'd be down for that. Tom Holland also has to film Spider-Man 4 as well as The Odyssey, so maybe if he's in the movie, his role in Doomsday won't be a big one. That is true. He could just have a smaller role in the movie, which is why they didn't announce him here. Maybe he'll just be saved for the movie, which I'd be fine with that. I mean, look at Endgame. he was maybe in like 2 to 3 scenes of Endgame. He was not in that much of Endgame. A lot of characters were not in that much of Endgame. So I think it's okay if he's not in a lot of Doomsday. Again, they got to save stuff for Secret Wars. So we'll see. I think I do think we'll be getting a lot of him in Secret Wars at the very least. I mean, Spider-Man is a big part of Secret Wars. I mean, I would love for him to get the black suit for Secret Wars because I think that's like the iconic look of Spider-Man in Secret Wars. But who knows? Who knows? They could have Robert Hayes and Julie. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember those names. I gotta look them up. I probably know who they are. Let me just look them up. Robert Hayes. I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything. He doesn't look familiar. Julie Haggerty. Oh, they're from that airplane movie. Well, you were talking about the airplane movie before, weren't you? Hey, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll show up. Do you feel disappointed by Daredevil Born Again so far? I feel like there are aspects that could have been done way better. The fight scenes are way too edited and cut, and the pacing feels odd. I've been like trying not to say too much because I really want to wait till the end of the series to make like a full judgment. But I do agree. I think there are a lot of elements of the show that I am kind of disappointed with so far. But at the end of the day, I still really like it. You know, and I have to make that so clear. And in my videos, I've made that as clear as I can. That like I really am enjoying the show. I think it's probably the best like MCU show we've seen thus far, not counting the Netflix stuff. But that doesn't change the fact that I do think there are a lot of elements that are disappointing. I think the show doesn't look nearly as good as the Netflix series. And okay, not even comparing it to the Netflix series, just kind of like just judging it on its own. I don't think it looks amazing. There are some shots that are gorgeous and look incredible, but some shots that are just like, like especially my least favorite scenes in the entire series are any scenes inside of their law firm building. I don't know if you guys have like noticed watching those scenes, but the lighting in that place is horrendous. Like I'm so against lighting where it's like you have this really heavy backlight, right? And in this case, it's those giant windows they have back there. And it's just bright lights coming in and it makes everything look kind of like hazy almost, but not in like a artistic way, but more so in like a, we just did not properly light this room way and it just looks bad. That's a lot of scenes I just look like that in the show, but there's other scenes that look incredible and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. So it really just depends on the scene. It depends on the moment. So visually, I'm not like obsessed with it. I think it looks fine most of the time. I think there's a couple of really good action scenes. That scene in episode 6 was amazing against Muse. I loved that scene. Obviously, the fight against Bullseye was great. Some of the story's been really good. I think the stuff with, the conversation with Punisher was probably the best scene, one of the best scenes in the show so far. I think what they're doing with Kingpin is really interesting. I like how he's kind of like trying to change, and there's some stuff with it that I'm not crazy about, but a lot of it is really, really good, especially with the Atom guy and that whole scene that was so good in last episode. Daredevil is going through a very similar dilemma that he kind of always goes through, I feel like, but this one's a bit different. I feel like just similar ideas, but I'm okay with that. I'm not against them going through similar situations and stuff like that. But I do think the show does feel kind of like a Frankenstein of a show, which it is, because they did do that whole overhaul, and then some of the scenes they kept in, some of them they didn't, which is why some scenes don't feel like they fit. They're kind of like out of place, and they're doing a good job with it, all things considered. But I do think the show could have been a million times better than what it is. So I think that's kind of what my issue is right now, is that I feel like you could have had a solid successor to the Daredevil show. I feel like it's just a really solid MCU show, though, which sounds like, it's weird to say that, like it's just that, but isn't that a great thing? But it could have been, you could tell that it could have been so much better, you know? But that's why I've been giving the show a lot of praise, though. It's because even despite those problems, I still think it's really, really good. So that is important to keep in mind. All right. I do think we're going to end the stream soon, though, because there's obviously nothing else to be announced. And I think we've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this stream anyways. But I'll read a couple more comments and then we're gonna head out. You think there could be a chance of Daredevil appearing in these movies? I personally don't think he will, but there is a chance. There's obviously a chance for any character, but I just don't see it happening. And if it does, it'll probably be a really quick scene. It won't be anything too crazy. I mean, they're literally going to be doing Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Well, they've already filmed it, I think, right? Or no, they're filming it now. So they're doing that, and then are they going to do a Season 3? I don't know, but they'll probably do. If they do that, they're going to do that right after, I'm sure. It'd be cool if in Secret Wars Ben Affleck returned to play Daredevil. That would be cool. He wouldn't, but that would be really cool. And then yeah, Daredevil Wolverine did say that he was dead, but it's a multiverse. He can still technically be out there as a different variant. Tom, there was a rumor that said the stuntman for Tom is going to be in the suit, and then Tom is going to do the dub. Oh, I would hate that. It could work, but I just wouldn't like that. Because it's like Tom in the suit, like obviously they have a stuntman a lot of the time, but you can kind of tell, like, I don't know. I think they did that a lot for The Mandalorian, where Pedro Pascal wasn't always in the suit, and it worked out just fine. But I don't know. Just knowing that would kind of irk me, though. They could possibly make a Defenders movie with the Defenders and maybe even Spider-Man. So, not to like spoil anything, but there's been some rumors about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. They're just rumors, though. And it does sound like we might be seeing Defenders tough stuff returning. But who knows? Who knows? I would like a Defenders thing, whether it's a full show or a movie or something. I think it would work better as a show, though. Personally. And if they do it, I hope they bring all the Defenders characters back. All right. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone tuning in. This was a fun little live stream, nothing too crazy. Hopefully you guys had a good day.